You're sitting in the dealership, and the finance manager slides a paper across the desk. "Good news," he says with a smile. $847 a month. We got you approved. And here's what goes through your head. That's not that bad. I mean, it's less than $900. I make enough to cover that. Plus, I need a reliable car, right? So you sign. And 5 years later, you're still making that payment. Except now you're wondering why you can't seem to save money. Why your friends are buying houses while you're still driving to work in a car that's now worth half what you paid for it. Here's the thing. That car payment isn't just costing you $847 a month. It's quietly destroying your ability to build wealth in ways you probably haven't even considered. My name is Thomas, and I spend way too much time thinking about the psychology of debt and the real cost of lifestyle inflation. If you're someone who's tired of feeling broke despite making decent money, or you keep wondering why there's never anything left at the end of the month, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're going to break down exactly how that car payment is costing you way more than you think. And I'm not just talking about the sticker price. Look, the average new car payment in America right now is around $736 a month, according to Edmunds. For used cars, it's about $525. But here's what most people don't realize. That number has nearly doubled in the last decade. And when you ask people why they're okay with this, they say things like, well, cars are more expensive now, or interest rates went up, or my personal favorite, everyone has a car payment. It's just part of life. No, it's not. Here's the thing most people miss. A car payment isn't just a monthly expense. It's a wealth-building prison. And I know that sounds dramatic, but stick with me because the math on this is absolutely wild. The true cost. Let's say you take out that average $736 payment for 72 months, which, by the way, is insane that 72-month car loans are now normal. That's 6 years. But whatever. $736 times 72 months equals $52,992. Okay, so you're paying $53,000 for this car over 6 years. But here's where it gets really interesting. According to data from Carfax and Kelley Blue Book, the average new car loses about 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. Then it loses roughly 15 to 25% per year for the next few years. So by the time you've paid off that $53,000, your car is worth maybe $22,000 if you're lucky. You just paid $53,000 for something worth $22,000. You lost $31,000 in value. But wait, it gets worse. The opportunity cost. This is where people's minds explode. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Thomas, but I needed a car. What was I supposed to do? Walk to work? And look, I get it. I'm not saying don't buy a car. I'm saying the way you buy a car is probably destroying your financial future. Here's what I mean. Instead of that $53,000 financed car, what if you bought a reliable $15,000 used car with cash? Something like a 2018 Honda Civic or Toyota Camry, which, by the way, will run for 200,000 miles if you do basic maintenance. Now you've got an extra $736 a month for 6 years. If you took that $736 and invested it in a simple S&P 500 index fund, which has historically returned about 10% annually, here's what happens. After 6 years, you'd have approximately $74,000. Let me say that again. Instead of having a paid-off car worth $22,000, you'd have a paid-off car worth about $12,000 because, yes, your cheaper car also depreciated, plus $74,000 in investments. That's a difference of $64,000 in net worth from one decision. But it gets even crazier if you zoom out. The 30-year perspective. Here's what most people don't realize. It's not just about this car. It's about the pattern. The average American will buy 9 to 10 cars in their lifetime. And if you're constantly in that cycle of payments, trading in your car every few years for a newer model, rolling negative equity into the new loan, always having a payment, you're not just losing money on one car, you're losing decades of compound growth. Let's run the numbers on someone who always has a car payment versus someone who buys reliable used cars with cash. Person A,
always has a payment, buys a new car every 6 years, always has a $736 a month payment, over 30 years spends approximately $265,000 on car payments. At age 60, owns one car worth maybe $25,000. Person B buys used, invests the difference, buys reliable used cars for $15,000 cash every 8 years, invests $736 a month in index funds, over 30 years spends approximately $60,000 on cars. At age 60, has an investment portfolio worth approximately $1.8 million. The difference between these two people isn't income, it's not luck, it's literally just one decision about cars compounded over time. Person A is a multi-millionaire. Person B is, well, still making payments. The psychology trap. Now here's where we need to talk about why people do this, because it's not just about math. If it were, everyone would buy used cars. There's psychology at play here. Dealerships have figured out that most people don't think in terms of total cost. They think in terms of monthly payment. The finance manager doesn't say, this car costs $53,000. He says, can you afford $847 a month? And here's the thing. $847 a month feels manageable. It's less than $900. It's not that much more than the $600 payment you were expecting. This is called payment anchoring, and it's incredibly effective at getting people to spend more than they should. Then there's the status piece. We've been conditioned to believe that the car you drive says something about your success, that pulling up to work in a 2018 Camry instead of a 2025 BMW means you're, what, unsuccessful? Behind? Look, I'm going to be blunt. Nobody cares about your car as much as you think they do. The guy you're trying to impress with your luxury SUV isn't thinking, wow, he must be successful. He's thinking about his own stuff. And the people who are impressed by your car, those aren't the people whose opinions should matter to you. Here's what is actually impressive. Having money, having options, being able to retire early or take a year off to travel, or tell your boss to shove it because you've got 6 months of expenses saved. That's impressive. A car payment is the opposite of that.
The emotional justifications. Now, you might be thinking, but Thomas, I work hard. Don't I deserve to drive something nice? And this is where we need to have a real conversation. Of course you work hard. Of course you deserve nice things. But here's what most people don't realize. There's a massive difference between affording something and being able to pay for it. If you're financing a car, you can't afford it. But the interest rate is so low. Look, I don't care if it's 0% interest, which it's probably not, by the way. The average auto loan interest rate right now is somewhere between 6 to 9%, depending on your credit. Even at 0%, you're still losing tens of thousands to depreciation. But I need something reliable for my family. A $15,000 Toyota is incredibly reliable. It's actually probably more reliable than whatever luxury brand you're looking at. This isn't about reliability, it's about wanting something shiny. And that's okay. You can want something shiny, but let's be honest about what it's costing you. The dealer tactics. Let me tell you what happens in that finance office, because I want you to understand the game being played. You negotiate the price of the car down, you feel good, like you won. Then you sit down with the finance manager and he starts with, so what payment are you comfortable with? This is a trap, because now you're negotiating on payment, not price, and they can hit your payment target by extending the loan term, 72 months instead of 60, increasing the interest rate, rolling in unnecessary warranties and gap insurance, and burying negative equity from your trade-in. You walk out thinking you got a good deal because you're at $800 a month, but you just signed a 7-year loan at 8% interest with $4,000 in add-ons you don't need. Here's what they don't want you to know. You're not buying a car, you're buying a monthly payment, and monthly payments keep you broke. The real solution. All right, so what's the actual answer here? First, if you currently have a car payment, here's what you need to do. Option 1, if you owe less than the car is worth, sell it. Yes, even if you like it. Sell it, pay off the loan, and buy a reliable used car with whatever's left over.
If there's not enough left over, buy the cheapest reliable car you can find and start saving aggressively to upgrade later with cash. Option 2, if you're upside down, you owe more than it's worth, you need to attack that loan like it's on fire. Every extra dollar goes to that car payment until it's gone. No vacations, no eating out, no new clothes. Kill the debt. Then, here's the system going forward. Buy reliable used cars with cash. I'm talking 3 to 5 year old Honda, Toyota, Mazda, $12,000 to $20,000. These cars will easily last you 10 plus years. Start a car fund. Even after you've paid cash for your car, keep saving that $736 a month. Half goes to investments, half goes to your car replacement fund. In 5 years, you'll have $44,000 saved to pay cash for your next car, and you can get something really nice with cash. Break the cycle. Every time you're tempted to finance, calculate the opportunity cost. What could that money become in 10, 20, 30 years? Run the actual numbers. The mindset shift. Here's the thing that nobody wants to hear. You're probably not going to feel rich driving a 2019 Camry instead of a 2025 Lexus. In the short term, having the nicer car feels better. It does. I'm not going to lie to you. But here's what I want you to understand. Wealth isn't built by feeling rich. It's built by being rich while looking middle class. The millionaires I know, the actual millionaires, not the people faking it with debt, they drive normal cars, they wear normal clothes, they live in normal houses, and they're worth $2 to $3 million because they've been investing the difference for 20 years while everyone else was making payments. There's this concept in finance called playing poor to become rich, and it's really simple. For a period of time, maybe 5, 10, 15 years, you live below your means. You drive the used car, you skip the fancy dinners, you say no to things. And then, at some point, you cross this threshold where your investments are generating more income than your expenses. And suddenly, you're actually rich. Not fake rich with a nice car and a bunch of debt, actually rich with options and freedom and screw you money. But you can't get there if you're bleeding $700 to $800 a month on a depreciating asset. Now look, I know some of you are thinking, Thomas, this is too extreme. You can't just never enjoy anything. And you're right, this isn't about never enjoying anything. But here's what I want you to ask yourself. Would you rather enjoy a nice car for 6 years or enjoy financial freedom for the rest of your life? Because that's the actual trade-off. Every dollar you spend today is a dollar you can't invest for tomorrow. And because of compound interest, every dollar you spend today might be $10 or $20 or $50 you won't have in retirement. So yeah, you can have the nice car now, but understand what you're giving up. You're not giving up $53,000. You're giving up potentially $500,000 over your lifetime. Is the car worth $500,000 to you? Because that's the real question. The action steps. All right, if you've made it this far, here's exactly what I want you to do. Step 1. Calculate your true car cost, not just the payment, the total amount you'll pay over the life of the loan. Add up every payment. Then look up what your car will be worth when it's paid off. Calculate your loss. Step 2. Calculate your opportunity cost. What if you had invested that money instead? Use a compound interest calculator. Look at what you're actually giving up. Step 3. Make a plan. If you have a car payment now, decide, are you going to sell and downgrade or attack the debt? If you don't have a payment, commit to never having one again. Step 4. Start your car fund today, even if it's just $100 a month. Build up your cash reserves so you never need to finance again. Look, I get that this isn't easy. I get that it requires sacrifice. But here's what I know. 5 years from now, you're either going to wish you had started today, or you're going to be incredibly grateful that you did. The people who build wealth aren't smarter than you, they don't make more money than you, they just made different decisions about cars, about debt, about lifestyle inflation. And those decisions compound. Here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, every time you see a nice car on the road, I want you to think, that's not a car. That's $500,000 they'll never have. Every nice car you see is someone choosing temporary status
over permanent wealth. And maybe that's worth it to them. Maybe they've done the math and decided the car is more important than early retirement or financial security or having options. But I'm willing to bet that for most people, it's not a conscious choice. It's just what everyone else does, so they do it too. You don't have to be like everyone else. You can drive a boring car for 10 years and become a millionaire. Or you can drive a nice car for 40 years and retire broke. Your choice. If this video helped shift your perspective, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on building actual wealth instead of just looking wealthy. And drop a comment below. What are you currently paying per month for your car? And after watching this, are you going to make a change? I'll see you in the next one.